Hello everybody, welcome back. Today we're going to make, we've done this before. It was called a snowball in the last one, but we made it in a big one, and now we're going to make it in a 9-inch block. Probably make another pot holder, festive. This time it's called Big O, and for it you'll need 2 of my white in 4-inch squares. It actually calls for 3 3/4, but I like to go up. It's easier to cut, and then I have more of a excess, we'll call it, room to breathe. So if I sewed a little wrong, I can fix it. And then you'll need one 3.5-inch square. So 2 4-inch and 1 3.5. In the snowflake fabric, you'll need 2 4-inch and 4 3.5. So this is one I already made, obviously. The second one, we're doing the white again, and we're doing this pine cone and branch fabric. So let's move this to the side a little. So first we're going to make our half square triangles. So you take your 4 4-inch squares. I've already done 2, and I've actually mostly done this one. So we just draw the line. Where did I just put my ruler? We're just going to draw the line from corner to corner. And then sew a 1/4 inch on either side. And then we're going to cut that apart. Normally I use a rotary cutter, but scissors work well too. We're just going to cut it apart. So again, you'll have 4 of these. I'll move this to the side. And then we are going to iron them open and trim them down. We're going to trim them to 3.5 so they match our other squares. And to do that, we're going to take my little ruler, and I'm going to line up this diagonal line right there on the sew line. And I like to go, since I did it 4 inches, I have room to breathe down here, and I can have a little bit up here, so I don't go too far on either cut. So it's going to be about that much on both ends, or all 4 sides, I guess, both corners. Need a new rotary blade. Now we're going to line up the diagonal, and this time we're going to line up the 3.5 point down here, and then our straight lines on both sides. And then we will slice it off, and we'll do it one more time. We're going to line up the diagonal line and just make sure that our 3.5-inch point is not down here. We're going to line it up on the actual block and still have some up here. So I want some to trim on both sides. Now, you don't have to do it that way. If you are better at it than I am, cut it at 3 3/4 and go from there. But I use these scraps. I stuff pillows with them. So I'm not actually wasting anything. I'm just using it for something different. So then we're going to line up our diagonal again, our 3.5-inch point, and our 3.5-inch lines on either side. And we will trim it down. All right. Now, we're basically done. We have to lay our block out. So we lay our corners. And our middle. And then we just lay these around. Now this is sort of directional, but since these are all different, I'm just going to let it how it falls. So now we're just going to sew these 2, these 2, and these 2, and then we'll sew our rows together. So we're going to do that. I'm going to go to the sewing machine. We're going to do that, and then we'll come back and iron it and pin our rows. Oh, that's not good. Let me fix that. You got a sight of my other fabric mess. You're welcome. It's a mess in this room. There's fabric everywhere, which is why this year I'm going to just try to use up the fabric I have. All right, grab our middle one. This is the same white fabric I used on the last video because, well, it's going to kind of be a set of pot holders. And all the other fabrics came in a fat quarter bundle from Joann's last year, which I used when I did, it was a set of blocks, a crazy quilt set maybe. I don't know what it was called. I can try to link the video though. So I just cut that off and I'm just going to grab the other one and sew it. So these are pretty small. I'm not actually pinning them. This is about as big as they get for me if I'm going to not pin them. I'm usually a pinner, but if the sizes are small enough and I can hold it on both ends without making a mess, I just do it. Alright. Well, without it slipping, I guess it's not making a mess, but it is a mess if it slips, so. And our last one. Now we will go back over and iron them and pin them together. So the top and bottom will be ironed to the middle because it's a solid block. And then the middle pieces are all solid blocks, so they'll get ironed to the outside, which works because they're the darker ones anyway. Which is where I want it sewn to, or ironed to. I received a lot of tips for my snowball corners, which I will try. I even ordered the rulers. I can't remember what they were called without looking, but we'll try them out on the channel here and see what we get. So then we just lay it out again, and then we'll fold this over and line up our seam. And then line up our other seam and the beginning. Now we're just going to sew this down because this is too small for me right now to pin both sides. So let's head back over. Off of here. Go back, we'll iron this open and then pin the other side. So this I'm also folding to the middle again because there's no bulk. We'll spin this around, pin the seams again. I didn't even check my corners there to see if they lined up. That's terrible. Pin our other seam. Ouch. And I'm just going to hold that one. So let's go back over. Twice. off and grab my pin cushion. Pull my pin. Alright, now we see what we got. I like these quick little ones that just whip right together. Okay, let's open it up. Looks good. A little wonky, but you probably couldn't have told that if I hadn't showed it to you. There it is. It is called Big O Block. Big O Block. Also known as the Snowball. Again, it's a 9-inch block. I do like this one better. This one kind of looks like camo on the screen there, and I don't like it. But it's okay because it's just a pot holder. Or it will be eventually. Maybe I'll film myself making the pot holders, but I don't know. We'll see. So there it is. It's a 9-inch block. And I hope you enjoyed the tutorial. I hope you make it and love it. Please post pictures if you make it in the Facebook group. And I will see y'all next time. Have a great day.